you have two superstars in DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis. I'm trying to figure out, why does Boogie Cousins put up these numbers and his teams never win? Like, is it something about the way he plays? It's just unlucky he's not surrounded by enough talent? Because there's actually a lot of talent on this Pelicans team.
I don't, first, last night's game was one of the strangest and weirdest NBA games I've ever seen.
Yep.
That was the weirdest thing. For Washington to get up 25, and then for New Orleans to come back and tie it at 61, and then to get up 23 again. It was the weirdest game.
Yeah, they blew him.
It's kind of a Wizard specialty to gag away big leads.
Well, yeah, Oklahoma City's pretty good at that sometimes as well. So, but yeah, it's I don't know. With this team, it's a different team, because when you have two superstars like you do in Boogie Cousins and Anthony Davis, you need the complementary pieces, like we talked about, like you just talked about with the Houston Rockets. They have the complementary pieces to be successful. But the crazy thing to think about is some of the complementary pieces that they have in Houston now, they had in New Orleans.
Right.
They had Ryan Anderson.
Yep.
They had Eric Gordon. Obviously they didn't have Boogie Cousins, but they had Anthony Davis. So with this team, they basically went all in this year. You go out and you get Boogie Cousins and see if the whole Anthony Davis Boogie Cousins thing works. And then you bring in a Rajon Rondo, you bring in a Tony Allen, so you bring in a Jameer Nelson, so you bring in some leadership and you bring in some experience to try and put this whole thing together. And this is a team, because they don't have a lot of experience in winning. They do individually if you take them away from this situation, but together they don't have that experience in winning. When you don't have that, you're going to have a good amount of ups and downs. And they got off to a good start, kind of surprising everyone, being above 500, and now things are starting to slowly but surely balance back out.
Would you end up, or do you think they'll legitimately, like here in D.C., people are always talking about Boogie Cousins, can the Wizards trade for him? Do you see him being traded?
I don't know. Not right now, because I think right now there's they're still fighting for the playoffs. Yeah, it's super early. They're still, this is not an experiment that has failed.
Right.
It's an experiment in transition where you see, okay, well, maybe this will work. Who knows what happens if the end of January, if this team is 5 or 6 games above 500 and they're in the 5th spot, you're not thinking about trading Boogie Cousins. But if you're the Washington Wizards, my question is, who do you give up for Boogie Cousins?
Yeah, people, I never buy in that they have a shot, because the people that float, theoretical trades, I always say, well, why would the Pelicans do it? The trade that people like to float around is like a Marcin Gortat Oubre combination, or Marcin Gortat.
Throw a first-round pick in there too, JP.
And throwing a first-round pick, or a Marcin Gortat Otto. I'm like, well, Pelicans do that.
Well, but the thing is, if you're the Pelicans and if this Boogie Cousins situation isn't working, you start paying trade offers, because what you don't want is to get Kevin Durant. You don't want a situation where, he just walks away at the end of the season and you get absolutely nothing for him.
Right.
So that's why you got a guy like DeAndre Jordan that's on the trade block and with the Clippers. You'll hear Paul George's name thrown out there quite often. Anytime you have big-time free agents coming up in 5 or 6 months that can walk away from a situation and it's not working at the time, and you can get something for them in return, you have to kind of look into doing that.
Antonio, thanks as always for the time. We love talking to you. We will talk to you again soon. And in my world, again, you only exist from 2005 to 2009 when you wore the Wizards uniform. Thank you, my friend.
Not even bowling green cakes?
Yeah, so I was going to say, so in your world, I only had a 4-year NBA career. That kind of sucks. That means I can't get my pension.
It's a very good horizons. Thank you, Antonio. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, fellas.
Always like talking to Antonio Daniels.
He's a good sport.